guys, so for today's video I have a makeup tutorial and I decided to do a party glam makeup tutorial because prom's coming up and I really am going to get on my prom makeup tutorials, but before I kind of wanted to do like a pre-prom makeup tutorial. Is that extra? Probably, but I figured I would just do a party makeup tutorial that could also go for prom. This could be for a wedding if you're bold enough. You might not want to steal too much attention from the bride, so I'd probably change to a just plain like neutral nude lip. But this could be a wedding look as well. This could be a look for clubbing, like just anything that you really want to look super glammed and dolled up for. Seriously, sugar? If you guys do hear a little bit of noise, Sugar is in my beauty room. He's currently playing right now. So pretty much you have this really bold, like full-on warm, smoked out, smoky eye. I even did the black. There's literally layers upon layers upon layers of different shades of warm brown and black on this eye, and I absolutely love that. It's like a classic, bold, smoky eye. And I decided to add a tiny bit of sparkle, just sprinkling in from the inner corner a little bit to the inner half of the lid. And I really like how it turned out. So hopefully you guys do like this makeup look. If you are interested in checking out how I did it, then make sure to just keep on watching. So to start off this glam party look, you want to make sure that your foundation base goes on super smooth. So I'm going to be using this Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. And then for foundation, I'm going to take this Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I love this foundation for a party glam look because you still get a good amount of coverage, but it's not going to look too cakey. So because obviously with full face glam makeup, you are packing on a little bit more makeup. So using a foundation that isn't too cakey will help kind of minimize the end look of the makeup, if that makes sense. So I'm also using a beauty blender because again, that's also going to help the foundation appear a little bit more natural. So for concealer, I'm really packing a lot on because we're really going for the full glam highlighted effect. I'm going to use the new Urban Decay Color Correcting Concealer in the shade Yellow, and this is going to highlight your face like nothing has ever before. And then I'm also using the shade Light Warm, which is extremely pale and also yellow undertone on top of it, which is going to just enhance that highlighting effect as well. So this is not for the shy, this is for the bold, because this highlighting routine right here is super highlighted and super bold. I'm just going ahead and blending that out with my beauty blender because it is going to help, again, make it look a little bit more natural because it's going to sheer it out when it's damp. So of course you want to set your foundation so that it can last all day. I'm going to take the NYX HD Finishing Powder. This is just a really great affordable finishing powder that will set your foundation and help it last really long. It's a great affordable option, so I definitely love this powder. I'm also going to take the same powder but just in a different shade. This shade is called Banana. I'm going to take that and kind of pack that on the under eye, and this is just going to help set the concealer so that it doesn't crease, but it's also going to enhance the highlighted effect because again, the shade Banana has that very warm yellow undertone. So to help bring some color and dimension back into the face, I'm going to be taking this Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion Bronzer in the shade 30M, and I'm just going to put that on the cheek area and also on the temples and move it down to the jawline. And of course, what would a glam makeup look be without any contouring? So I'm going to take the Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D, take the middle shade, and I'm really going to do a full contour effect. As you can see, I'm bringing it down quite a bit, but I'm still making sure that it's super blended. So dramatic doesn't mean that it can't be blended. You always want to make sure your makeup is blended, but as you can see, I am kind of going a little bit more dramatic with it. And then I'm using this new limited edition Tartist palette by Tarte, and I'm using that shade right there and just applying that just to bring a little bit of color back into the face. Of course, I can't go without highlighting, so I'm taking this Milani Tantastic Face and Body Highlight in the shade Fantastic in Gold. This is probably one of my favorite drugstore highlighters ever. I'm just going to highlight the cheekbones and also down the center of my face. Moving on to the eyes, I already did my brows and primed my eyelids. I will leave the products listed below that I used. But for today, I am going to use Makeup Geek eyeshadows, which is probably one of my favorite eyeshadows ever, and they're super affordable. I'm just going to take Beaches and Cream. You can barely see it, but that's the point. I'm kind of just layering on that transition shade because since we are doing such a full dramatic look, this is really going to help make sure all the other shadows blend nicely. Moving on to Creme Brulee, this is going to act as a second transition shade. In this look, what's really important is to just layer on a bunch of different shades that you really like. Personally, for me, I love warm brown shades, so I'm just layering on a bunch of shades to help them blend each other. Basically, the more shades you have on top of each other, they're going to help each other blend because they're not going to have that harsh line and they're not going to stick to the primer or anything like that. So I'm just taking Creme Brulee and kind of putting that right into the crease with the E35 brush from Sigma. And then I'm taking Frappe, which is a darker version of Creme Brulee, but it's a little bit warmer. It definitely has a very orangey, warm tint to it, and I absolutely love it. Again, I am taking this into the crease, but I did switch over to a little bit more of a tapered brush just so that I can have a little bit more precision with this shade. But either way, all three of these shades, Beaches and Cream, Creme Brulee, and Frappe, are working as great transitions together. So definitely when you're doing a smoky eye, consider using more than just one transition shade. Moving on to Cocoa Bear, I love this shade. It is a very brick, warm type of orangey brown, and I'm just going to take that and put it right directly into the crease, but I'm also going to concentrate it on the outer V, and I'm going to bring it kind of halfway through the lid. I'm not going to be shy and keep it just on that outer bit. I'm going to bring it a lot onto the lid, and I'm only leaving the inner part of the lid kind of naked and open for later on in the tutorial. Moving on, we are going to take Americano from Makeup Geek, and I'm just going to focus that on the outer corner of the eyes, and this is just going to provide definition. Again, I am using a darker brown before I go ahead and just pop in some black, because using this darker brown is really going to help the black that I'm going to use afterwards transition. That's a tough word to pronounce when you're trying to talk fast. Transition nicely without having harsh lines and anything like that. So this shade is also really beautiful. Again, I loved mixing like so many different shades of brown. The more the better, and this shade is beautiful. It's a really like warm brick deep brown. Again, just popping that on the outer corner and kind of blending it up into the crease a little bit. So now that we have all those shades of brown already there, this black is going to be a lot easier to blend out. I'm just taking Corrupt, which is one of my favorite blacks ever because they're very, very easy to blend out. Sometimes black shadow can be kind of harsh, and Corrupt makes it very easy to blend. So I'm just going to apply that on the very concentrated outer corner and then blend it out with the E25 from Sigma to make sure that there aren't any harsh lines. So now for the lower lash line, you want to go back to the beginning of the eyeshadows and just do the whole thing over again. You want to mimic the exact same steps with the exact same shades as you did on the top to the bottom. So I'm going to take Creme Brulee and just put that on the bottom lower lash line. That's going to work as a transition. And then I'm going to move right on to Frappe, and I'm going to build up some color and some warmth with this shade as well. So So next up is Cocoa Bear, and I'm just going to take that on a little bit more of a precise brush, but still fluffy. And I'm just going to put that on the lower lash line. But with each shade, I'm kind of bringing it less, like further away from the inner corner. So this is just going to go a little bit more on to the outer corner of the lower lash line. And then next is Americano, and that is going to go kind of more towards the outer area of the lower lash line, just to provide definition and kind of give it that cat eye effect just on the outer area. And now with Corrupt, I am going to go in with definitely a way smaller brush. I believe this is the Smudge brush. And I'm just from Sigma, and I'm just going to take that on the outer corner, but I'm also bringing it kind of towards the center of the eye, but definitely not towards the inner corner. And I'm just slowly blending it out and applying that. Going back to Beaches and Cream, I'm going to go ahead and take that on the inner corner of the lid area of the eyes. This is just going to help brighten up that area. And we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of sparkle on top to kind of glam it up a little bit. I'm going to take Stila's Kitten Foil Eyeshadow. I love this eyeshadow because it's basically a very foiled sparkle sprinkly effect. So when you apply it, you just get a bunch of like textured sprinkles all over the place, and that's what I wanted this eye look to have. I wanted it to look like there was just a little bit of sparkly, sprinkly sprinkles coming from the inner corner of my eye. You know what I mean? Like just a tad bit sprinkled throughout the inner corner. I don't know, I kind of like that effect instead of the full-on heavy, full coverage glitter. Then I went ahead and popped on some mascara and then went on with my favorite falsies for glamming it up. This is Coco's Goddess Lashes, and they're super dramatic, but they're amazing for a party makeup look. So working right from the root and applying a good amount on, we're just going to take some lower lash line mascara. This is the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara. And I'm just going to apply that to add some definition to the lower lashes. Moving on, we're going to define the lip line a little bit, and we're going to use this Whirl Lip Pencil by MAC. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of trace my natural lip line on the bottom lip, but I am going to overline the top lip just slightly a little bit. As you can see, I'm just outlining right outside my natural lip line. So this is going to still give you a fairly natural effect without going too overboard, but it's definitely going to give you a little bit more of a plump lip. Especially for me, where my top lip is a little bit slimmer than my bottom lip, this is just going to really help even it out. But it's also going to provide a little bit of definition for the lip color we're going to use, which is one of my favorite tricks. So for liquid lipstick, you guys know I'm a liquid lipstick junkie. I feel like I can't even do my makeup without it nowadays. I'm going to go ahead and use Stila's Bocce. This color is beautiful. It turned a lot more of a bright pink mauve on my skin tone because I was very tan this day. But if you are a little bit paler than I am, this is going to be the most perfect pink nude. I loved how it looked on me though. It was definitely different. I usually go for a little bit more muted nude, but I can't talk today, I swear. But I loved how this turned out, and you guys really liked it too. I got a lot of questions on this lip color, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this makeup look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, thumbs up for more makeup tutorials, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.